everyone, this is Vivo Mystery Cases, and today we're gonna talk about the famous Roswell UFO incident. Have you ever heard about the secret base Hangar 18 that we have tackled in our last video? Come and join us as we talk about it some more. The Roswell UFO incident refers to the 1947 crash in Roswell, New Mexico. The United States military unilaterally declared the fall as the wreckage of an experimental high-altitude surveillance balloon because the Project Mogul was classified as secret and did not disclose details immediately, and many civilian UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists believe that the fall was indeed an alien spacecraft. The entire event was covered by the military. The place of discovery was also hailed by UFO researchers as one of the holy places for research. But on November 24, 2014, a peer release of US experts' alien anatomy photos and negatives. In 2015, CCTV 13, a news channel, aired the common concern. The United States announced 13 million copies of the classified files, particularly about the 1947 Roswell incident, each of which has dead unknown humanoid. Subsequently, major domestic and foreign websites reopened some photos that were said to have been leaked in the last century. From 1947, more than half a century has passed. People are still in doubt whether it is true. July 1947, Roswell, New Mexico Daily News published a sensational article. Air Force found crashed UFO at Roswell. Major newspapers and magazines reprinted it. Radio waves carried information around the world. The news caused a strong fear among the American community. Since then, Roswell has almost become synonymous with the word UFO. July 5, 1947, from Coronado, USA, 50 kilometers from Roswell, northwest, a farm owner, Matt Brazil, also heard the big explosion in the evening. A lot of special metal fragments scattered about 400 meters in the farm the next day. On July 6, Brazil brought the metal fragments to Sheriff Roswell, then reported it to the military and transferred to the airbase. 7 days later, he took Jesse Marcel and another officer to the scene for inspection and brought a lot of things to the base for inspection purposes. In addition, a civil engineer found a wreckage about a diameter, a dish-shaped metal objects. The dish are split into two, and several bodies were scattered inside and outside the dish. The corpse was thin and small, measuring only 100 to 130 centimeters in length and weighing only 18 kilograms. It had no hair, big head, big eyes, small mouth, and was wearing a tight-fitting gray uniform. The army immediately stationed in the two places where the wreckage was found and blocked the scene. The next day, Brazil went to a livestock pen 1 mile away to see if his animals had been hit by lightning. Just after a distance, he saw many luminous blocks on the grass, like metal, plastic, ceramics, and wooden blocks. He found a rundown behemoth lying in the grass, like a graphic structure. Major Marcel of Roswell Air Force Base came to the scene. According to him, the crash flyer is not an airplane. As an Air Base intelligence officer, is very familiar with the aircraft used by the Air Force and civil aviation and has participated in the recovery of the crash wrecks many times. But the crash wrecks he encountered are completely different from the previous accidents. Wrecked parts of the said UFO can still be distinguished from the outline. The turtle shell is 10 meters in diameter. It is divided into two inner and outer cabins, and the inner cabin has a diameter of 7 meters. The inner cabin seemed to be a cockpit with a panel on the bulkhead with control mechanisms. There were 4 seats in front of the panel, and each seat has a dead body fastened to the seat with a seatbelt. July 7th. Marcel commanded the recovery team to return to the Roswell Air Force Base. The major knew that the matter had spread. An officer of the military's public relations department issued a press release to the 2 local radio stations and 2 newspapers. On the morning of the 8th, Roswell Daily News published the full text of a news bulletin issued by Colonel Commander Blanchard. The Air Force found the flying saucer, landed on Blaisdell Farm near Roswell, and was found by the military. Military personnel said that the fallen objects has been found. It is being examined and the flying saucer wreckage was recovered and sent to a higher level headquarters for further inspection by a special person. News releases. Reports on the Roswell Incident. Army Commander and General Roger Ramey took over to take charge of the incident. He gave Major Marcel some debriefs and immediately arranged a press conference. The general said that his officer made a mistake because there is no such thing as a flying saucer. The crashed object is nothing but a weather ball with a radar reactor. Overthrowing the previous statement, this is the end of the matter. Therefore, the newspapers the following day specifically clarified that the unknown object that fell was a weather ball and not a flying saucer from an alien. Earlier, radio station manager Jude Roberts received an order from Washington that the UFO news should not be broadcast in the newspapers, therefore clarified and denied the discovery of the flying saucer. Because of the sudden rapid change to the statements, which made the public suspect that there is a hidden agenda in informations, most people believe that the weather ball is a revised statement. The American Blue Book Project. After the incident, the U.S. Blue Book Project was officially launched with the purpose of reprocessing UFO funds, information, data, archives, and established documents of the Roswell UFO incident has then sent to the National Archives Administration for storage. The original intention of the plan is to suppress the public's awareness of UFO and to create a smokescreen of flying saucer is nonsense. According to the British Merlin Group producer, the event was broadcast globally in Roswell. The data shown in the anatomical alien body video does not match the data shown by the popular Fox about the Roswell UFO crash. It is learned that the anatomical body in the alien film is not the alien that Roswell UFO. The confirmation of the Roswell incident was completely unsuccessful. After an investigation, the photographer admitted that it was a fake film. The hustle and bustle of newspapers and radios alarmed the Pentagon. Lieutenant General Watt Danberger, Deputy Commander of the U.S. Air Force, was charged with handling the matter. At the same time, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force visited Roswell Air Force Base. Roswell Air Force Base Air Force 8 Army Commander and Brigadier General Lame served rebuke from his superior. Lame immediately summoned Base Commander Colonel Richard Brown, indicated that the Air Force as well as his concerns and worries about the UFO incident press release disclosure and ordered the flying saucer wreckage with the B-29 transport aircraft shipped. Blanchard immediately telegraphed Major Marcel's strict security measures and transported the wreckage to Fort Worth Air Force Base, 8th Army Headquarters. Brigadier General Lame held a press conference at Fort Wall Television. The general claimed that the so-called falling flying saucer was a military detection weather balloon that had exploded and crashed into the Blaisdell Ranch. Roswell's Gazette was clearly the product of misjudgment. The U.S. military believes that the solar universe is far from the Earth. There are developed human beings that are more advanced than Earth civilization, and the flying saucer is the spaceship they conduct scientific investigations. With the development of the Earth's science and technology, the chances of attracting visitors have gradually increased. On Earth, if a country can first connect with aliens, it can first master more advanced science and technology. This is of great military significance to the Earth people themselves. Immediately after the end of World War II, the United States must maintain advanced military technology, so confidentiality is absolutely necessary. If it is made public, it will inevitably cause long-term turmoil and cause social confusion. After much mediation and negotiation, the President was finally allowed to make secret inspections of UFO and alien-related bases when he deems it appropriate. The President arrived in Edwards Air Force Base by helicopter in a top-secret condition. Relevant personnel briefed him on the research on UFOs and aliens. Obsessed by all sides, the President's decision to announce the mystery of the Roswell UFO failed to materialize. Into the 70s, the U.S. President Carter to issue another public UFO research has made considerable considerable efforts. A well-known American mystery researcher submitted the application report of the flying saucer archival materials to the president in 1979, but the White House responded that the president had asked NASA and no information about the flying saucer was available. As a result, materials from the Roswell incident remain sealed in some archives. New events. American writer Nick Redfern provides a whole new explanation in his new book, The Goal in the Desert. Redfern claimed that a female scientist who worked at Oak Hill National Laboratory in the United States in the late 1940s revealed the truth behind the Roswell incident. Roswell did not have an alien event. All the strange things are because of the US military is engaged in a series of secret high-altitude human experiments. These include biochemical experiments, horrific medical experiments, and human aerial testing experiments. The word alien body found at Roswell Ranch was actually a severely disabled human being and was used by the US military as a horror test for high-altitude experiments. According to US military sources, in July 1947, the US military conducted a first secret balloon-carrying aircraft experiment in New Mexico. However, the experiment had disastrous consequences. When the experimental balloon and the plane took off, the pressured plane hung under the big balloon. Aircraft pilots are small, as described by Roswell aliens. When the balloons and planes ascended high, they were suddenly struck by lightning, triggering a crash. In addition to overthrowing UFO enthusiasts' belief that the fall found in Roswell was an alien aircraft, the report revealed for the first time that the incident was related to a Soviet secret nuclear reconnaissance program that was considered highly classified at that time. It was recorded that in July 1947, the conditions of the US Army Aviation Roswell base were normal, and there was no abnormal movement of emergency. The report said the Air Force in 1994 found that between January, a team of researchers at New York University in June and July 1947 was in the vicinity of the site Alamogordo Army Base, a test of high air balloon. This activity involved state secrets at that time, codenamed Mogul Project, and at that time, it was intended to use high-altitude balloons to detect shock waves from Soviet nuclear tests. Lawmakers have ascertained that the source of the Roswell incident has been destroyed. July 29, 1995, Japan-US Congressman Schiff read after the military archives pointed out that 1947 was considered legends about aliens UFO crash in Roswell. The relevant files have been important in the 40 unapproved case years ago under destruction. The military tried to deny the facts. According to Congressional Accounting Office, the Roswell Base Administration since 1945 to 1949 archives has been destroyed. The military cannot explain who and why destruction of records is the only relevant documents. Schiff emphasized that the destroyed data may include the base officers' explanation of the crash to their superiors at that time. Although hundreds of people have participated in or presented evidence to prove the authenticity of the Roswell incident, the government has denied the authenticity of the incident because official information has been destroyed. Conspiracy theories that the US government is secretly studying aliens have a long history. In the meantime, with the spread of a so-called FBI top-secret file, the topic of aliens became hot again. Among the various mysterious phenomena, the most believers are the UFO phenomenon. Among the numerous UFO incidents, the most famous is the Roswell Incident. It is said that the alien flying saucer crashed here. The US Air Force not only picked up the fragments of the flying saucer, but also secretly dissected the alien's body. This event, a tremendous impact on American society, not only on the town of Roswell, turned into a tourist attraction. Also, the construction of 2 local UFO museums, and once a year, UFO festivals. A lapse of 40 years later, and at the request of US lawmakers, the US Air Force conducted in-depth investigation and issued 2 Roswell reports in 1994 and 1996. Do you have any ideas to share? Leave us a comment down below and let's discuss.